Thank you, Dr. Saurabh. I had made a slide of around 50, but I thought that there were eminent speakers before me, so I reduced down to about 20. That itself is too long. Nowadays, I think we as trainer or teacher have to speak without these slides. Okay? We're talking about Industrial Revolution 4.0, but my interest is nowadays more not to do with engineering per se, but to do about philosophy of life, which unfortunately, as professionals, we are not taught in our school, in our colleges. But I think now, having been a teacher for about 47 years, I think we have made a very, very serious mistake in not teaching our professionals, doctor, engineer, lawyer, how to live like a human being. Okay? So the slides are there, I'll go. So let's go back and let's look at the evolution of teaching learning, whether it's higher education, whether it's TVET, it doesn't matter. I think as Majumdar was saying that we as educators have tried to divide that here we have higher education. By higher, you say you put it at a higher level. The system is like that, IAS, IPS, the Babu culture. I'm talking about the Indian culture. And we are not, we belong to the same ecosystem of culture. So let's go back 50, 60 years back when we were studying in school. At that time, I would say the first element, the first phase was just teaching, Guru Deva Bhava. A guru is a teacher. Guru Deva Bhava is, the teacher is like a god. And with Christianity, no one can go against the god. 200 years back, they were killed, okay? But then at that time, it was just teaching. It was a monologue from the teacher. You would not question the teacher. Because how can you question God? The God Almighty. Whatever he or she would say. In Nepal, we have, in Hindu, we have thousands of God, both male and female. Whereas in Christianity, you've got one Christ. In the Muslim, you've got one Allah. So whenever I meet foreigners, they become amazed that you have thousands of God, both male and female. Okay? That's the diversity of our culture. We can go later on. So at that time, it was just teaching. A monologue, the teacher would teach, the student would listen, the student would not even question the teacher. Okay? But that time changed, maybe 20 years back. From teaching, we shifted to learning. So then the learner was in focus. From teacher to learner. From monologue to dialogue between the student and the teacher. The second element was learning. Then there is a third element. Can anyone, it'll end with ing. Can anyone guess what is the third element? Anyone? There's a fourth element also. What is the third element? And people were not satisfied with that learning also. What is the third element? Can anyone? The third element is earning. So it has to be connected with employment, be it higher education or be it TVET. So the third element was earning. You have to earn money for your livelihood. So teaching, learning, and earning. That's enough. That is not philosophical. Then now there is the fourth element. Can anyone guess the fourth element? Anyone, please. There's no right and wrong answer. Okay, now. Anyone? The last one? Okay. Now who said happiness? That's side. So just to convert that, now it's abstract, you see. And now I said it's philosophical, it's abstraction. The fourth element is living. living, you see. You have to sleep. It doesn't matter whether it's a golden bed. You have to have a good sleep. I remember during my engineering days in Chandigarh, in the 60s, late 60s, I used to visit my friend's house in Delhi. And in India, not in Nepal, but in the Tarai, you sleep outside. होता है ना, आपका पलंग होता है, and you enjoy the beauty, the natural beauty of its full moon, gap karo. So that, at least you get a good sleep. But imagine you have a golden bed, but then you can't sleep. Doesn't matter. So, at the end of the day, it is living. Now, who will teach you living? Is our education system teach you living? No. They're the worst place to teach living. And the motto is, you cannot, I will emphasize, you cannot be a good doctor or a good engineer or a good lawyer unless and until you are a good person. Now, how do you teach that? Have you questioned that? No. So that is the evolution of learning, teaching. Again, I said I'll be philosophical. I'll go back again 2,500 years back, 2,600 years back. At that time, there were 3 philosophers in the world. They were born in different places, 2 in Asia and 1 in Greece. Can anyone guess these philosophers who taught about living, life and living? They were philosophers. One was Lord Buddha, okay? He was Gautama Buddha, born in Nepal, but got his wisdom, everything in India. Another one was again from our part of the world, from China. Anyone? Any guess? A philosopher? Confucius. Very good. The third one in Europe, similar time, who rebelled at that time, rebelled against the society, came up with a very a paradigm shift in facing reality. Anyone? Socrates. These were the 3 philosophers who changed the thinking at that time. They went against religion. They said, don't accept whatever they say. Think. Use your rationale. Use your logic. I'll give you an example of what Lord Buddha, because later on people accepted him as a god. But basically he is a philosopher. A crown prince, all the amenities in life. But he said, okay, let me see the world. Now, Buddha came up with 3 C's. Finished? 10 minutes are over. Okay, I'll finish it off. The slide is there, I'll share that with you. He came with 3 C's, which is very, very important for us as a deviant educator or whatever you call it. The 3 C's. One was content. Content. That's knowledge, skill, competency. Okay? Content. The second C was the context. Content is not enough. What you've learned in America may not be suitable in India. So context is also very, very important. Content, Lord Buddha had all the wisdom, knowledge, but then to apply, it is contextual. You cannot come up with a one-size-fits model. What is the third C? Anyone? What is the third C? That would go on with content. Now the third C in our language we call Sangha. That's community. That's what we are talking about now, networking. Or it was there 2,500 years back. Okay? Sangha, that's a community of learner, Tibet learner. 1 minute. So the thing is, At the end, I would say, there are two P's that we all have to learn. One is pride in what we do in this debate sector. One is pride. And the second one is passion. If you have a combination of pride and passion, we can be successful. And we can only be successful if you dream together. Otherwise, it'll just be a dream. So if you dream together, you can convert your dream into reality based on fairness, humility, justice. You can do that. Thank you very much. The slide is there. I'll share that. It'll be there. So thank you very much for the time. Sorry for maybe 5 minutes.